So the cluster is temporarily on with the ECU Master Dash install. This is the ADU7, which is the bigger one, and it fits pretty good on the OEM location, and everything is working. We got water, oil temp, oil pressure, fuel level has to be probably calibrated. The same with the gear selector, RPM. Right now we're gonna keep it at 9,000, but it comes all the way to 12. We got RPM signal here, and everything reads. Everything registers. Then we're gonna get a little crafty with the design and stuff. We'll probably put something with the LCE logo, or maybe something on the background as well. Maybe put the car in the air, bow check it, and move on to the next thing. See if Adam could rip on it.
All right, I know I've teased two big things for you guys. Obviously, one is the automatic Mark V Supra transmission that we've made some serious headway on, and my R32 GTR that has come a long way, and I'm planning to reveal that I've got a lot to talk about. But Johan is going for a much needed vacation next week, and I wanted to spend some time with him focusing back on the 4-rotor Supra. So this thing is going to enter its next stage. It drifted a little bit, it did a couple pulls, but it was not set up for drifting. The two big things, obviously power steering, and what are you working on right now?
The Winter's quick change gear ratio.
So you guys have probably seen us do this at the track, but here's a quick demonstration of how easy and efficient it is to change gear ratios. 6 bolts.
6 bolts, take them out, a bunch of fluid comes out.
The cool thing about this, even though typically people will re-add fluid, the way that they're designed, you can swap the gears out and you can run it without adding more fluid because it's designed to retain enough for you to do it once, do a gear change without having to add more fluid. But got a little card that tells you the ratios, and we're going from, I think it was a 4.4 to a 5.4. So before we had like almost 70 or 80 miles an hour in first gear. So this thing was kind of long and made the splits a little far. So doing this will make first gear a little bit shorter so we can get into second gear. It'll bring the splits closer together. So this thing will sound a little bit more like an F1 car, and will give me a bit more ratios to play with driving around the compound. I know you got some stuff done on the interior, so I guess we'll jump into that next. Some pretty major interior updates have been going on as well on the 4-rotor car. But before we dive into that, I have a huge announcement that I think is best expressed by this reel that you may or may not have seen. So I'm gonna put that in here.
Yo, Adam, what's the story, dude? How are you?
I was thinking back to the Ireland event, man. That was something special. If we could replicate that vibe in other countries and bring out more of the homies, that would be the dream.
Man, I love this idea. I think we can get it done this year, but we got a lot of planning to do. Don't go telling everybody right now. We got to keep it a secret. Right now, I'm in the middle of the desert, so no one's going to hear it from me, right?
Did I hear a world tour?
Maybe Jimmy knows. It's a secret, Jimmy. It's a secret.
Safe with
Say
me.
nothing, all right?
Safe with me. Yo, what are you doing? Yo, listen. LZ World Tour, but just do not tell anyone. Okay, I promise. I won't tell anyone.
You want me to come to LZ World Tour? Hell yeah, let's do it. Gotta go!
World Tour? Wait, you want me to trip? Oh my God! Dude, you know I'm there, bro. I got you.
Just hang tight, eh?
Ooh, it's on.
Adam LZ World Tour, first event is in New Jersey. Whoa! Let's go, New Jersey!
Yo, look at this. Whoa! We cannot miss this. Let's go.
Hey Adam, what's up? Yeah, that's gonna be a blast. We might bring a new car this year, something a bit different.
Okay, I don't want to alarm you, but I think some people might know already.
Bro, you realize they're talking about the Adam LZ World Tour. They think it's gonna happen without us?
Yeah.
Bro, call Hassan. Let's book the flights.
Well, might as well get the word out.
Yo, what's up, Adam? Ooh, World Drift Tour? That sounds cool. I definitely want to go to Ireland with you guys. Count me in on that one.
Sylvia's and Skylines. You want one of those, right? Oh, Oh, it's Uncle Adam. Uncle, he's having a world tour. We gotta go.
Monkey down the School of Drifting, how may I help you? I'm Mr. LZ, how's tricks, man? I've been inspecting your call. I'd love to come, fella, guaranteed crashes.
World Tour? Yeah, I'm in. You in, Jack? I'm in. We're both in. See you then, man.
Yo, what's up? Hell yeah. No, I definitely want to go. I'll do my best to not tell anybody. He thinks I'm not going to tell anybody.
All right, man, look, it's getting out of hand. Too many people know. Don't call anybody else. Don't call anyone else.
Don't worry, Dave. The World Tour secret's safe with me.
World Tour? When were you gonna tell me?
We literally just started talking about this. Head over to lzworldtour.com. Tickets are available now.
As I said in the reel, Ireland really was something special. Not only did I have the time of my life, I was very stoked to hear from many of the drivers that it was one of the best events that they had ever been to, and to see and hear about all the fun that all the spectators had. It definitely opened my eyes big time and inspired me to structure this year in a much different way. When I started drifting, it was purely for fun. I was tired of getting hurt with BMX and physically wasn't able to keep riding as much as I wanted to, and drifting provided a new outlet for me to go have fun, challenge myself, and learn about an entirely new hobby. Formula Drift was a great outlet for me to capture the need to continue pushing myself, especially with how competitive I am. But now, being 5 years into driving Formula Drift, the repetition of driving a lot of the same tracks, traveling to the same places, and the amount of time and energy that goes into so little seat time made it feel a lot more like a job and pulled some of the passion that I had away from drifting. So this year, my motto is finding the fun in drifting again. But being realistic with myself, I knew there was no way that I could afford the time to do another event like the LZ Festival in Ireland without making some adjustments. I was a bit vague before about my choice to take a step back from Formula Drift and only drive half a season, but the key missing component is that I was provided with an opportunity of which that I could actually share a seat with another very rad driver that RTR is yet to announce. Dave and the entire Drift Games team are amazing to work with, and believe it or not, we have been planning this world tour since, actually I think it's since before the Ireland event. The foundation of these events is non-stop action. It's not aimless drifting, it is based around a fun, laid-back competition with insane drivers from all over the world. It's an amazing show to watch with almost zero town time, and I don't know if the cars make it more or the people make it more, but both of them are awesome, and I'm excited to take the concept to other countries now. Coming up soon, we are going to E-Town. It is amazing working with the Knapp family. Our first ever event we did there was kind of just like a glorified drift week. Full disclosure, we barely put any effort into it. It was kind of a turnkey event that we did partnering with Aaron, and it turned out amazing, so I'm really excited to see this year now with the Drift Games team and what we've learned from all the events that we've done, how crazy our new festival style event is gonna be there. Being from Connecticut, the Northeast always comes out strong. I got all the homies up there and I love seeing all you come out. I'm stoked to be going back to Australia, one of my favorite places on the planet. We'll be working with Jason from Keep It Re. We recently spent a lot of time with in Japan and had a blast hanging out, and of course, you know, Luke's gonna show out in a big way. I'll be driving the Cream S13 there. Ireland with Drift Games at Mondello Park. Maybe we can break the attendance record for the largest automotive event ever in Ireland again. And Canada's a big one for me. Working with Blake from Top Drift has been awesome. One of my first BMX events ever was actually in Toronto at Joyride, so to go back to Toronto again, bring my cars over the border for the first time, it's gonna be good. There's so much to cover. The website has a lot of it, but more details will begin to roll out as dates get closer. It's gonna be a good year. You know it's getting real when I'm cracking open a set of fresh TEs. So this is actually what the white TEs on the Supra started as. I couldn't get them in white, so they started off in crushed graphite. I do have a front set that matches, and I'm kind of curious to see how it looks on the red. I'm not a big fan of the polished lips, but it could kind of give the car a totally different look. You know I mean business when it's time to install a set of the Yashio factory collab harnesses. Yolan's working on the lap belt. I'm climbing in back, right on top of my quick change, so I can start wrapping around the harness bar and the beautiful Recaros. Very important thing, always roll up your harnesses and make them nice and tidy. Makes a difference. Just a nice little zip tie, it keeps it nice and tidy. I feel like a commonly debated topic is in relation to harnesses. I typically opt for 4 points unless it's like a serious competition drift car. The idea behind 4 points versus 6 points, when you have a 6 point, you have the inability to submarine, which is when you like slip down underneath the lap belt. But I will say, when people have 4 points, the biggest mistake that I see people making often, they don't tighten the lap belt. So when they put in their shoulder belts, the lap belt like comes up to their stomach. So the most important thing, if you're ever in a car and it has 4 points, make sure you tighten the lap belt down like pretty tight. That way when you go and do the lap belts, it's not just giving you this giant window for you to shoop underneath. I forgot how gangster these doors are. These are the HGK carbon doors. Reminder, we are a HGK distributor over at Drift HQ. We got a ton of HGK parts on the shelf, and conveniently enough, every $5 you spend on Drift HQ or LZMFG is gonna get you entered for a chance to win that Supra. And we have the results. Surprisingly, more of you guys liked the diamond black wheels than the white. I'd say the good news is you get to choose when you win the car. Well, I guess they could. I don't know which ones I like better. But I guess that would be selfish of me to keep the ones that I like. I'll probably order a second set just in case they choose the ones that I want. It's a great car. Enter. Chance to win. Get it. Two primary objectives. One, fun. I want to enjoy this car. We put a lot of time into it, and I think I'll be able to have some fun with it today. Two is stage 2 R&D, trying to get the car up to temp, try to put some heat in it and make it do some things. I do want to drive it on the track as well as drift it, but drifting will cause a lot more temperature and other issues. So it's easier to shake it up for drifting because I know it'll work well for road racing, and shaking it up for road racing, it may not work for drifting.
We gotta change the spark plugs. There's the original spark plugs in the and everything. We got the car running.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm gonna get to rip it before sundown. The weather's looking beautiful. I think the plugs are fouled out. New thing to me, but I guess it's a common rotary thing. So we'll check a new set of plugs in it. Hopefully it's good, but probably have to rip this thing tomorrow once we get some daylight because currently don't have the headlights working. Well, that sounded rad. I almost wish I didn't have my helmet on that had the ear cup so I could hear it better. I found myself using first and second, and like, it's really good. I gotta get used to this transmission and how it shifts a little bit different. But the good news is I was watching oil pressure the whole time. We didn't have any oil pressure issues. Oil temp stayed great. Water temp stayed great. But we lost a power steering line. This is our first time messing with electric power steering, so there's a few little gremlins to work out, but it felt great. I haven't really even set this car up alignment-wise yet, and I instantly felt pretty comfortable in it. Quite a bit of grip, sounded good, it was predictable, but yeah, that's a super, very, very successful. Obviously, fluid on the windshield like might look like it was unsuccessful, but the greatest thing about having the compound is I can find these things out here rather than trailing the car all the way to the track, running into an issue, and then not being able to solve it and having to come back and go back to the track again. So V2, I would say, great success. The car is starting to look more like a car inside the interior. I got to finally let this thing sing. I need to get Vargas out here. So far, we've only really done remote tuning. I've had tuning fork from Heltec's been helping. Vargas has been predominantly the one on the tune. Jack from HP Logic also helped me set up a bunch of safeties and stuff just so I could have a little more peace of mind. But I really got to get Vargas down here so we can clean up some of the mid-range and like partial throttle stuff. But wide open, it feels great. The power may not be what I thought it was going to be, but if it only makes 450 horsepower, it feels like a lot more. So I know mainlines are known to read a little bit lower, but the most important thing is if this thing can do what it needs to do and drift the corners and sound good, like, mind you too, we're on like 100 treadwear 285s in the rear. So the car's pretty hooked up right now, and it still feels good. So I think we'll probably end this one out here. Good success. Hopefully we can get another line on this thing, get some more laps in it, but I'm stoked we got the car to this point before Johan goes on his vacation. I can't wait to dive back into this thing.